Nama binti Muhammad Zahri. I'm from UiTM Bucha Alam, and today I want to explain the most important element that we need. The topic that we will going through in this video are: number 1, what is motivation? Number 2, behavioral perspective. Number 3, humanistic perspective, and finally cognitive perspective. What is motivation? Well, in simple words, motivation is the process of initiating, directing, and maintaining goal-oriented behavior. Motivation is the desire to attain one goal or meet one requirement. Motivation is essential for breaking bad habits and developing new ones. Many people struggle to get and stay motivated, especially if they suffer from mental illnesses such as depression or anxiety. For an example, we as a student need a motivation to stay energetic and enthusiastic in our university life routine. If we do not be motivated, we will feel so stressful and start overthinking to do bad things such as self-harm and even commit suicide. We know that this will not always kind to ourselves, especially when we become a teenager or an adult, where we must independent in ourselves in new place and environment. Example of things that happen that will make we feel unmotivated are our report is being rejected by a lecturer, scolded by a boss, or major incident that will make someone feel down and unmotivated. News. This is the result of person who become very unmotivated and depressed. This news that a depressed student committed suicide in Seremban due to academic stress. A student commits suicide by jumping off a building despite having 10 A's in SPM. According to China Press, she left behind a suicide note to her parents before jumping to her death from the 14th floor of a building on Monday around 8:45 p.m. In the note, Lin reported wrote that she was afraid of disappointing her parents and was under very heavy pressure. Lin added that she could not catch up on her studies and wished that her parents could live a good life. She also offered to donate all her organs to others who might need it. Lin was studying at a tertiary education institute in Kedah. However, she decided to transfer back to another institute in Seremban. Her parents have been monitoring her movement by installing a GPS tracker on her phone. On that fateful day, her parents called to check up on her after finding out that she was in an apartment building. Lin picked up the phone, but he lied to them, saying that she was with friends. After some time, they could no longer contact her and start to worry. Before the student commits suicide, she had a very bad insomnia due to her academic stress. Motivation in behavioral perspective. Motivation is merely anticipation of a reward from a behavioral standpoint, driven by a desire for positive reinforcement and previous experience with rewards. We act in order to obtain additional reinforcement, or in simple sentences, an extra fun activity in the classroom that will attract student attention. Teacher must create an activity in each student in the classroom must participate to avoid a left out. External reward and punishment are important factors in determining a student motivation. According to a behavioral approach, incentives are stimuli or events, either good or negative, that can inspire a student behavior. Advocates for the use of incentive stress that they bring interest or excitement to the class and shift focus away from inappropriate behavior. Teacher needs to recognize student achievement, incentive that classroom teachers can apply in their classroom are numerical scores, which is also provide feedback towards student work, or a good job sticker for competently completing their work or project. Other than that, it's giving a recognition. Teacher can give a recognition by displaying and giving a certificate for their achievement or verbally mentioning their achievement. Another type of incentive that teachers can give are giving a freedom to students choose a special activity. For an example, going to a field trip or watching a movie at computer lab. This can consider as a reward for their good behavior. The humanistic perspective. The humanistic perspectives urge student capacity for personal growth, freedom to choose their own destiny or path, and positive qualities such as compassion or being sensitive to others' feelings. This perspective is closely associated with Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. He believed that certain basic needs must be met before higher needs can be satisfied. Based on the Maslow hierarchy of need, there is 5 stages. First, psychological. Second, safety. Third, love. Fourth, esteem or self-esteem. And finally, self-actualization. Maslow hierarchy of need. First level, physiological needs. These are biological or basic requirements for any human survival, such as air, food, drink, shelter, clothing, and sleep. And this will be the first thing that motivate our behavior. When that level is made, the next level above motivate us, and so on. The human body cannot function optimally unless these demands are met. Maslow believed physiologically requirement to be the most important, since unless these needs are addressed, all others needs become secondary. Next, safety. Safety needs in Maslow hierarchy refer to the need for security and protective. When we have our physiological needs for food and water met, our safety need dominate our behavior. This need have to do with our natural desire for a predictable, orderly world that is somewhat within our control. Next level is love and belongingness needs. Humans have an emotional need for interpersonal connection, affiliation, connectedness, and belonging to a community. These demands are referred to as love and belongingness needs. Next level is esteem. The basic human needs to be liked and respected by others is represented by esteem. People frequently pursue a profession or interest, hobby to obtain recognition. This pursuit provides the individual a sense of value and contribution. Unbalance at this level of the hierarchy might lead to a low self-esteem or an inferiority complex. Finally, the highest level of need in Maslow hierarchy, known as self-actualization, is concerned with realizing one's potential, finding fulfillment in oneself, pursuing personal improvement, and having peak experience. Maslow described this level as the desire to accomplish everything that one can and to become everything one is capable of becoming. Cognitive perspective. The cognitive viewpoint on motivation maintains that student motivation is influenced by their thought. The cognitive viewpoint on motivation has seen a spike of research in recent years. In Graham and Taylor's 2016 and Shang and Di Benedetto 2016 statement, this interest focus on concepts like goal setting, attribution, success, expectation, and student conviction that they can successfully influence their surrounding and the result of their effort. Therefore, the cognitive approach contends that external effects should be downplayed, in contrast to the behavioral perspective, which sees the student motivation as a result of external incentive. According to the cognitive approach, students should be given more influence and responsibility over their own academic outcome. This perspective aligns with the theory put forward by R.W. White 1959, who developed the concept of competence motivation, which hold that individuals are driven by a desire to manage their surrounding, master their environment, and digest information successfully. According to White, people engage in these behaviors because they are internally driven to communicate successfully with their surrounding. The idea of competence motivation explain why people are driven to advance science and technology, as well as make contribution to society rather than only increase their own competence. Finally, social perspective. People are motivated by social factors to set and work toward goals. Achieving goals make them feel satisfied because social motivation involves social contact and identity among friends and people who belong to a specific society. This involves establishing, maintaining, and restoring warm, close personal relationship. Lower accomplishment is linked to such unfavorable belonging issues. This is realizing that there are many different viewpoints on motivation and that you are not required to follow any particular viewpoint. Information that is pertinent to kids' education is presented by all points of view. That's all from me. Thank you for watching my video. Bye!